It is the story of a small town where the residents of the town would often go to the mayor and put forward their complaints. They always had so many complaints. So, in order to change their mindset, mayor thought of an idea. He came up with the idea of putting an exhibition and invited all the residents of the town to come and display their problems. The residents were excited to have a different kind of fair, different kind of exhibition. So they all came up with in their nice regalia and to display their problems. Some had cloth work, some had handicraft, some had posters to put on, and everybody put on their problems. And then all the residents went across each of those exhibitions to see what kind of problems were existing in the town. And they were amused and they were like so surprised at some of the problems, and they were like exhilarated on seeing the problems, sometimes hilarious at seeing the problems. And in this way the day passed, and as the exhibition was getting over, all of them started going back home. And the mayor said, wait, you cannot go back home just like that. What you need to do is take one of these problems home. The participants, the residents of the town were a little surprised, so they went back, now in a more serious and a grim mode, and they started looking at each of the problems, wondering which one can they take back home. They went from one problem to another problem, and they found them either too intimidating or too difficult to handle. And what happened at the end of the day was, each and every resident of the town took back their own problems. It's very interesting. We always think grass is greener on the other side. Our mind tends to magnify our problems. Our mind tends to bring our past regrets and future worries in the present and make our life miserable. We begin to think, my life is miserable, my life is painful, my life is awful. Just like if you hold a small coin close enough to your eyes, you can even blind yourself to sunshine. Similarly, when we hold our issues closer than they deserve to be, we start blinding ourselves to all the positivity that exists around us. But when we look at the world around us and the problems that exist in people's lives, we begin to realize that our situation is not that grim after all. Depression tends to make us self-centered. We start thinking just about ourselves, our problems, our issues, our difficulties. But research shows that when we go into this vicious cycle of self-centeredness, our depression tends to become deeper and deeper and deeper, and it becomes all the more difficult to come out. So the research shows that we can come out of this vicious cycle by going out and extend a helping hand to someone else. So instead of complaining about our problems, let us use the gifts that we have in order to help fix someone else's life. And in this way, we start engaging our mind constructively in positive contribution. And please remember, my dear friends, mind is a beautiful servant, but a dangerous master.